This lesson is on vertex form. So first, what does vertex form look like? Well, the equation for vertex form is y equals a x minus h squared plus k. And that's the form that vertex form will always be in. So what you need to know about this is if a is greater than 0, then it opens up. If it's less than 0, meaning it's negative, it's going to open down. And again, that has to do with this number that's going to be out in front. HK is our vertex. And x equals h is called our axis of symmetry. If you have something that is x minus h, it's going to move the graph to the right. And if you have x plus h, it's going to move left. Okay, so it's going to be the opposite of what you should think in your brain. But the minus is going to move it to the right, and the plus is going to move it to the left. So first, we're going to look at the parent equation. The parent graph is y equals x squared. So there's nothing added to it. It's just y equals x squared. So first, we want to know what our vertex is. Well, there is no h and k in this, so our vertex is 0, 0. So that goes right there. So the axis of symmetry then is going to be at x equals 0. And that's just going to be a dotted line up and down. What the axis of symmetry does is it tells me that's the place where I can fold the graph directly in half. So now I want to point to the right. So directly to the right of 0 is 1. So we're going to put x equals 1 into this equation. So I have y equals 1 squared, which is 1. So that's the ordered pair, 1, 1. So over 1, up 1. Now, if I reflect that point, that means I'm going to fold it in half along the dotted line. So I'm 1 away from the center now. So I'm going to go 1 away on this side, right there. So that's negative 1, 1. Now I'm going to go a point that's 2 to the right. Well, 2 to the right is going to be where x equals 2. So I'm doing y equals 2 squared, which is 4. So that's the ordered pair, over 2 and up 4. So I go over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I also want to reflect this. So this is 2 away. So I'm going to go 2 away on this side. And that's going to be the point, negative 2, 2. At this point, you have 5 dots. So this, you can complete your parabola. And that's what the shape is called. It's called a parabola. Okay, so this is what the parent graph looks like. And this is what we're going to do to base everything else off of that. So first we want to describe the translation of this from the parent graph. So here's what we know. First, by looking at this, it's going to open down. Then what I know, from this, it's x plus 4. So it's going to do the opposite of what your brain should think. So you think plus should mean move to the right. It's the opposite. It's going to move left 4 units. This guy outside is going to tell me that it moves down 1 unit. And then, also because of the A, so also because of our blue A, that 2 is going to tell me it's a little more narrow than our first one. Okay, so let's look at this and graph it. So first, our vertex. Oops. So our vertex of this is HK. So this is H and K. So it's opposite of what we think. So it's going to be negative 4, negative 1. So this one is the opposite. This one stays the same. So we're going back 4 and down 1. And that's our vertex. So the axis of symmetry is going to be at x equals negative 4. So our dotted line that this is going to fold along is right here. So a point to the right. So what's directly to the right of negative 4? Well, negative 3. So we're going to plug negative 3 into our equation. So now we have y equals negative 2, negative 3 plus 4 squared minus 1. That's going to simplify down to 1 squared minus 1. 1 squared is 1, so it's negative 2 minus 1, which is negative 3. So this is the ordered pair, negative 3, negative 3. So I go to plot that, back 3 and down 3. Okay, so my reflected point is saying I'm 1 away, so I need to go 1 away on this side. So that is -5, -3. Now I want to go 2 points to the right. So 2 points to the right of our blue dot is going to be at x equals -2. So we're going to plug that in. So I have -2, -2 plus 4 squared minus 1. That's going to give me 2 squared minus 1, which is 4. That's going to be -8 minus 1, which is -9. So this is the ordered pair. We put in -2. We got back -9. So we're back 2 and down 9. Okay, so then we want to reflect that point. So if we want to reflect that point, we're 1, 2 away. So we're going to go 1, 2 the other direction. So that's going to be the point -6, -9. So now we have 5 points to this. So now we can graph it. Okay, so it did all of those things. It opened down, it moved left, it moved down, and it was narrow. So let's look at a few more examples. Okay, first, what's this going to do? It's going to open down. Why? Because of that -2. The vertex of this, x minus h plus k, so it's the opposite of what you think, so it says -3, so it's 3, -4. So you graph that 3, down 4. On this one, make sure you watch your boxes, because it's not every box, it's every other box. Then we have to decide, does it move to the right or to the left? Well, if you just look at the parent graph started here at 0, 0. So clearly we have moved this to the right, but we moved it to the right 3 because of that +3. Then did we move up or down? Well, that's based on this. So we went down 4. I want to know, is this wide, narrow, or normal? So what I know from this is that this -2 is what I want to look at for the wide, narrow, or the normal. And that's going to make it a little more narrow. If it was wide, it would be a fraction. If it was normal, it would be a 1. So what's my axis of symmetry for this? We go back to our vertex, and x equals 3. So here's our dotted line. So we want a value to the right. So directly to the right of 3 is x equals 4. So we're putting that into our equation. So -2, 4 minus 3 squared minus 4. So 1 squared minus 4. It's going to give me -2 minus 4, which is -6. So this is over 4 and down 6, which is right here. So then my reflected point is saying I'm 1 away right here. So I'm going to go 1 away on the other side. And that's going to be 2, -6. So we probably want to do a couple more points, but this is enough to get you going on that, to graph that one. Okay, same thing here. How does it open? Well, my a value out in front is an understood 1, so it's going to open up. My vertex for this is +4 and -2, because remember that it's opposite for inside opposite. It's going to move to the right 4 units because it's -4, and then it's going to move down 2 units. Wide, narrow, or normal is based on our a value in blue, and because our a value is 1, that means it's going to be normal. Our axis of symmetry is based off the vertex, so x equals 4. So we can go ahead and graph that. We're over 4 and down 2. We know it's going to open up. A value to the right. Directly to the right of 4 is x equals 5. So y equals 5 minus 4 squared minus 2. So that's 1 squared minus 2. 1 minus 2 is -1. So that's the ordered pair 5, -1. Over 5, down 1. So our axis of symmetry is right here. We're 1 away from it, so we're going to go 1 away on this side, which is the point 3, 1. And now we have enough points to make our parabola. So hopefully this helps.